Nobody panics when they get a tattoo. Pain is expected. Redness is normal. Swelling happens. That's why no one thought this one was dangerous. The tattoo shop followed protocol. Fresh needle. Gloves on. Ink poured from a sealed bottle. Everything looked clean. But days later, something felt wrong. The skin around the tattoo wasn't just sore. It was hot. Not irritated. Inflamed. The pain didn't fade. It intensified. Then came the fever. At first, doctors suspected a routine tattoo infection. Something localized, something antibiotics could handle. But this wasn't staying in the skin. It was moving. What most people don't realize is that tattoos don't just mark the surface of the body. Ink is injected deep into the dermis, close to blood vessels. And when bacteria get access to that space, they don't stay put. They travel. In this case, the needle wasn't the problem. The ink was. Investigators later discovered that the tattoo ink had been contaminated. Not during the session, but before it ever reached the shop. Bacteria can survive in ink bottles for months. Invisible, undetected, waiting. Once injected, those bacteria entered the bloodstream. That's when the body stopped fighting locally and started fighting everywhere. His heart rate climbed dangerously high. Blood pressure began to drop. Doctors noticed early signs of sepsis, a full-body inflammatory response triggered by infection in the blood. Sepsis isn't caused by the bacteria alone. It's caused by the immune system losing control. Blood vessels widen, oxygen delivery fails, organs begin to suffocate. Within hours, his kidneys showed signs of distress. Urine output dropped. Blood tests revealed rising toxins his body could no longer filter. The infection wasn't just spreading, it was overwhelming. Doctors moved fast. IV antibiotics were started immediately. Not targeted yet, just broad spectrum, trying to slow the bacterial growth before identification could be confirmed. Fluids were pumped into his veins to prevent shock. Oxygen levels were monitored constantly. But sepsis doesn't wait. Despite treatment, his liver enzymes spiked, a sign that another organ was beginning to fail. At this point, the tattoo was irrelevant. This was a bloodstream infection threatening multi-organ collapse. Doctors explained the danger clearly. If the immune response didn't stabilize soon, the damage could become permanent or fatal. This is what makes sepsis so deadly. It doesn't attack one organ. It attacks the system that keeps all organs alive. Blood pressure continued to fall. That SS when vasopressors were started, medications designed to force blood vessels to constrict and keep vital organs perfused. His body was being kept alive by machines and medication. Meanwhile, lab cultures confirmed the source. Bacteria commonly found in contaminated tattoo ink. Not from poor hygiene. Not from bad aftercare. From ink that never should have been used. After several days in intensive care, the antibiotics began to work. Inflammation markers slowly decreased. Kidney function stabilized. Blood pressure normalized. He survived. But recovery didn't mean escape. Sepsis survivors often experience long-term effects. Chronic fatigue, organ damage, weakened immunity. All from a tattoo that looked normal on the surface. This is why medical professionals warn about tattoo safety. Not just clean needles, but sterile ink sourcing and regulation. Because once bacteria enter the bloodstream, there is no such thing as a small infection. The body either regains control or it collapses. And when it comes to tattoos, the most dangerous part is often the one you never see. Subscribe for real infection cases doctors don't see coming until it's already critical.